You've been working really long hours every day, right? So you got up at 5 o'clock in the morning perhaps, and you went to bed late at night every day, and it's been a long week. And then comes Saturday or Sunday, you decide, this is it, I need a few extra hours of sleep. I'm going to sleep till 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, right? Get my 8 hours or 9 hours or whatever, right? But what ends up happening is, come 6 o'clock or even 5 o'clock, you're wide awake, your eyes are open, and you're thinking about something, and you just don't understand why you can't get that extra sleep. What's wrong with your body? Every morning at 5 o'clock you were really sleepy, so you had to force yourself to be functional with a couple of cups of coffee, and then keep drinking coffee throughout the day to get through the midday slump and so on, right? So what's happening? Despite the fact that you've been really sleepy and exhausted throughout the whole week, on a Saturday or Sunday morning, you suddenly can't sleep. And then it gets even worse. There's a phenomenon whereby around 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning on that Sunday or Saturday, you feel like a zombie, like Walking Dead. You can't function at all because the crash happens. You really want to sleep, but you can't because the day has already started. You're running your errands, or you've gone somewhere with your family or whatever, and that exhaustion just continues. It just goes on. It never really stops. Week after week, month after month, year in, year out, your life is a complete disaster because you can't get enough sleep. You are always stressed out and exhausted. And that's when the burnout looms, right? You are thinking, hey, am I going to be one of those cases, the clinical burnout cases, where I have to take half year off work to recover? And then obviously, what about all of my other commitments? I have to keep paying the mortgage, the life goes on. How am I going to handle it all? And that thought alone makes you even more stressed. It was happening to me, for example, a couple of years back. I was getting up at 4 a.m., 4:30, and I just couldn't sleep. Despite all my melatonin tablets, herbal teas, and all of those other things that I was trying. I was tracking my sleep. I was testing different sleep cycles. But at the end of the day, it turned out that it's all because of that inner stress that I had. That stress that I had lived with throughout my life. It had started very early in my life, in the very early childhood. And I had no recollections whatsoever, obviously, of when and how it started. It was always with me. And it's only when I started doing subconscious therapy, I hired good specialists who cleaned my subconscious programs, worked with my childhood traumas and everything, and then slowly but surely all of those issues just started going away. I could magically, automatically just get more sleep. I was less stressed, less anxious, less obnoxious thoughts. I was becoming a more calmer person, basically, generally speaking. And nowadays, for example, even if I get up somewhat early in the morning, like today, I got up at 6 o'clock, right? I had had 7 hours of straight sleep, so it's kind of okay-ish, but I just felt that I needed a bit more. So what I did is I just had a nice warm drink, hot chocolate, right? Because I don't drink coffee anymore. It's been over a month since I stopped drinking coffee, which is another story anyway, for another day. But then I basically had that nice warm drink, and I went back to bed, and I slept till 7:30. My body needed that extra energy, and I gave it. I gave it to it, you know? I put myself first, basically. That's how putting yourself first happens. No matter all the other things that I have to do, all the other errands and my to-do list, which is quite big, when I need that extra sleep and energy, I can easily afford giving it to myself. because my nervous system is quite balanced nowadays. I'm calm and I can fall asleep without any issues. Whereas previously it was a disaster with that constant stress and anxiety that's inside of you. You just cannot calm down. You can't be calm enough in order to give yourself that rest that your body and your mind really need.